WVU officials have partially lifted the ban on Greek life right here on campus. So what does that mean for fraternities and sororities? I'm Jackie Sagar, and I'll have that story coming up next on WVU News.
I'm John Horak. Coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you which Morgantown housing complex is building its foundation on faith.
Are you concerned about the heavy trucks in your neighborhood? Well, I'm Nicole Ford, and I'll tell you how this issue is making its way to the West Virginia Supreme Court. Our award-winning WVU News starts now. After a major tragedy, WVU fraternities are having their recruitment week here at the university, and over 90 students decided to rush despite the negative coverage. I'm Nicole Ford.
And I'm Allie Brandfast. Learn more about a new housing complex being built in Morgantown that's putting faith above partying. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students at West Virginia University.
The recent death of WVU freshman Nolan Birch made national news here at West Virginia University.
Now, the fraternities are looking to move on with their first recruitment. Reporter Jackie Sagar joins us now in the studio. Jackie?
Thanks, Allie and Nicole. WVU's Greek life was under a temporary suspension that was lifted this semester. It was the first time all of WVU Greek life was put on hold following a hazing incident that turned deadly. While the chapter of Nolan Birch's frat was not recognized by WVU, it still caused major changes at the university. I had a chance to see how these changes are affecting one fraternity.
Birch was found unconscious in a fraternity house near West Virginia University back in...
This week is the first fraternity recruitment since the incident involving a WVU freshman. Nolan Birch consumed an amount of alcohol 6 times the legal limit during an initiation function last November.
At first, it deterred me a little bit. When I heard about Nolan's death, that really struck me hard because I personally knew him myself.
The university placed a ban on all Greek activities after a fall semester of hazing accusations, vandalism, and multiple instances of reckless drinking. The ban was partially lifted for some fraternities under a few conditions.
I had to turn in a FERPA form for all the active brothers in the chapter. We had to next turn in a roster for all the active brothers in the member. And lastly, I had to submit a rush plan.
This was the first time the university placed a ban on all Greek life right here on campus, which means no fundraisers, no socials, no events of any kind. Fraternity brothers on campus are aware that the university plans to make big changes to improve the image and overall culture of WVU.
Everything that's been happening the last couple months is having a serious impact because usually when like something small happens, then they put down a little punishment. But for something that big, for them to levy this big of a punishment, it was definitely a wake-up call.
Franz was surprised that 95 students still signed up for the IFC rush list, despite the strict rules placed on Greek life for the upcoming semester.
They all had stellar stats, and it was just a great feeling to see all those guys.
The ban was not lifted from all fraternities. Out of the 20 WVU fraternities on campus, only 9 were allowed to hold recruitment activities. 2 WVU students have been charged with the hazing death of Nolan Birch. Allie and Nicole, back to you.
Thanks, Jackie. More controversy in the Mountain State. West Virginia just received a failing grade from the American Lung Association.
That's right, Allie. West Virginia was given an F in both tobacco prevention and control program funding and barely passed for having smoke-free air. West Virginia is only spending 25% of what is recommended by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They are only spending $4.8 million in 2015 compared to $6.8 million just 3 years ago. West Virginia University banned all tobacco products on campus back in July of 2013.
West Virginia University is home to over 25 different religious student clubs.
And now there's a housing complex where students can share their beliefs. John Horak has more on this story. John?
Thanks, Nicole and Allie. The Central Place Apartments are trying a new approach to getting residents a place to live. I had the chance to see if a faith-based living situation will work in Morgantown. The Central Place Apartments on Wiley Street looks like your average apartment complex being built in Morgantown. However, when Central Place opens in May, it will have a unique, faith-based mentality. Developer of the project, David Biafora, explained that just because the complex is faith-based does not mean you have to be religious to live there.
Anybody can live there. You can be any denomination. It's nothing is particular. And when you sign a lease, there's going to be a separate code of conduct.
Students may have the choice to be religious, but according to the Harless Center website, residents will not be able to bring drugs or alcohol into the facility. With the Harless Center's faith-based atmosphere and their policies with drugs and alcohol, the jury is still out among WVU students if this is the right place to live.
I think that there are plenty of people in Morgantown who would prefer a quieter place to live, somewhere they know that they don't have to worry about noise complaints or things getting out of hand.
The Harless Center is a nonprofit ministry of the First Presbyterian Church. With the campus only being 2 blocks from High Street and the downtown campus, Biafora knows that convincing residents to live there could be difficult.
It could be, I think, but again, it's one of those management things that we're going to see what the first year brings.
Residents who choose to live at the complex will have access to a prayer space and have the opportunities to participate in a number of religious events provided by the Harless Center staff. Central Place looks to start moving people into their 117 apartments this May. Each apartment has a flat rate of $1,200 a month. Allie and Nicole, back to you.
Housing isn't the only subject affecting residents. Many are still upset about a local judge overturning City Council's truck ban in December.
City Council recently brought the issue up, and a new decision may be on the horizon.
A decision that could make the city of Morgantown a lot quieter. I spoke with a few Morgantown citizens about the news. This is the sound that numerous Morgantown residents wake to each and every day. Heavy truck traffic in the downtown areas of the city has been a problem for more than 20 years.
It's something that's affecting our neighborhood significantly. It affects our property values, it affects our desirability, it affects people's sleep patterns. It's loud. Those things are very loud.
A Kanawha County judge ruled banning trucks downtown would cause mayhem and chaos. But on February 3rd, City Council retaliated with a vote of 5-2 to appeal the decision. Mayor Jenny Celine says that the council wants to make sure all citizens are heard.
Honoring the citizens that came forth asking for this, and also honoring our own well-being as a community, that we feel safe on our downtown roads.
Residents here along Brockaway Avenue complain that trucks are constantly spilling gravel, just like this, onto their sidewalks. The city engineer estimates that each day 700 heavyweight trucks come down this hill behind me. With all the houses, you can see why residents are concerned for their safety.
We're going to keep on working on this regardless of what happens. We have to. It's what we have to do for the community.
If City Council's appeal is granted, then there will be no more unnecessary trucks in the downtown area. Trucks aren't the only thing making noise in Morgantown. The WVU basketball teams have been great on the court all year long.
All that noise on the court would make one think they must have plenty of date requests for their downtime.
Shannon Butler joins us now from Social Square with the latest in social media and pop culture news. Shannon?
Ever wonder what it's like to be a star athlete in the dating world? With Valentine's Day behind us, I found out what our biggest basketball stars are looking for in the current dating pool. The West Virginia University basketball players have been aggressive on the court this season. The men's basketball team is 19-5 for the year and ranked number 21 in the nation, while the women's team sits at 15-9. Both teams play pretty tough, but they are filled with love. With Valentine's Day in the air, I spoke with Avery Fields, who says what her ideal date would be like.
My ideal date would probably be somebody that's really sweet. He would come to my door, wouldn't text me or anything like that, come to my door, knock on the door, and take me out to dinner and maybe go on a walk somewhere afterwards.
Although number 5 didn't give anyone her heart this year, she does have a favorite love song.
Probably one from like Boyz II Men, like back in the day.
Fields isn't the only WVU basketball player that has been unlucky in the dating world. Gary Brown has been a smooth operator on the court this season for the Mountaineers. scoring close to 7 points per game. But when it comes to dating, he hasn't always been so smooth.
Date one time, and I really didn't know her name, but one of my friends came up, so I introduced him to her, and that's when I found out her name.
But don't feel bad for Gary. He didn't spend this year's Valentine's Day alone. He spent it with his favorite lady, his mom.
I'm gonna take her out to dinner, and I'm gonna just we probably will dance bachata at the house, since we like doing that. Probably take her out for a little bit, you know, trying to be nice to her.
And while these two players are currently unlucky in love, they both say they are okay with being single and continuing their winning streak on the court. Statistics show that more than half of the U.S. population receives a card on Valentine's Day. Maybe Avery and Gary were able to get one after all. Allie, Nicole, back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. WVU's hockey team celebrated their seniors with a pregame ceremony.
WVU sports reporter Emily Giangreco met with their star player and reveals more than just what he does on the ice.
The Mountaineers.
I'm Emily Giangreco, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you about a West Virginia hockey player who plays for more than just goals.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a Mountaineer.
The Mountaineers ice hockey team finds themselves in third place in their division this season.
Lewis, how good has forward Zach LeDuc been for West Virginia?
He's been very good, Nicole. LeDuc carries the Mountaineers to a 19-14-1 record with 14 goals and 20 assists. LeDuc wears his home jersey for the final time during senior night. Sports reporter Emily Giangreco caught up with their star about what makes him play so well on the ice.
As the WVU hockey team gets ready for their last home game of the season, player Zach LeDuc gets ready for his last home game of his college career. LeDuc says a lot of his success comes from the relationships he's built with his teammates.
Just developing chemistry with a lot of the guys. It's got me to where I am today.
Growing up in a hockey household, LeDuc has been playing hockey since his childhood. LeDuc is the second highest scorer on the team with 32 points this season. But every time he scores, it isn't just for the Mountaineers.
He's always the first one here, last one to leave. He's one of the most dedicated players on this team.
My dad, like I said, he got me into the game. He actually passed away a few years ago, so it's I play for him every game.
The Mountaineers were unfortunately defeated by the Lakers 6-3 during their last home game of the season. This was the final time LeDuc put on his WVU jersey and played in the Morgantown Ice Arena. LeDuc says he may not see playing hockey in his future, but definitely coaching. Emily Giangreco, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
The Mountaineers will finish their season this weekend in Pittsburgh, where they'll look to put up another division-winning banner at the Morgantown Ice Arena. Nicole, Allie, back to you.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online at our website.
You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube. And please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Nicole Ford.
And I'm Allie Brandfest. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.